So for Valentine's Day, we are going to be talking about 3 ways that you can prepare for your future wife as Christian men. This can also go for women trying to prepare for their husbands in the future. We're just going to be talking about 3 simple things. We're not going to overcomplicate it. We're just going to keep it very simple. There's multiple things that you could do, but we're going to keep this very clean and very simple. The first thing you should focus on is developing your character. Becoming a man that is worth trusting. That means having integrity when nobody's watching. You gotta recognize whatever you do alone, whenever you're not performing for other people or trying to live up to a standard of other people, trying to impress them, that is who you truly are. So if you're constantly, I'm not saying lusting on accident, but if you're constantly prioritizing lust or these other sins when you're not around people, you can only put up an act for so long. A lot of the time exposes people because people can't fake it forever. This also goes for having self-control, being honest. And first off, just being consistent with God. What does that mean? Being consistent in your word. You have to be in this, I would say, at least every day. That's my opinion. Now, you don't want to fall into legalism and say, oh, I have to make sure I read this every day or else. It's not about that. It's just about being consistent, because when you're consistent in your word, you're going to be able to identify a lot of other things. You're going to be able to identify a lot of fake stuff. You're going to be able to have discernment with a lot of other things in your life. Secondly, learn to lead yourself spiritually first. As a man's job, he is supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be the head of the household. But if you can't lead yourself first and you can't be consistent with your own disciplines, how are you supposed to lead a woman or children at that? And again, how are they supposed to trust you if you're not disciplined in your own life? So if you can't pray alone, read scripture alone, before you meet your wife, go to church alone, how are they supposed to put their trust in you? Or honestly, take you serious when it comes to the spiritual side of your life? You have to be self-motivated. You can't rely on a woman to motivate you. Yes, your wife would motivate you and should be encouraging you, but you can't rely on that as your only sense of fuel. The third thing is to build stability, not attraction. It actually says in 1 Timothy 5:8, but if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for the members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Now, I understand, I'm only 21, so when you're younger, you're kind of building yourself up. You know, you're starting to work and make some money, hopefully saving some money. If you're smart, you can't be spending all your bread. You got to stack your chips while you're young, especially nowadays. Talked about that in my last video. You have to be able to provide. That's all there is to it. Especially with a nuclear family, this is my belief why the system doesn't want a mother staying home. They don't want mothers to homeschool their kids, is because there's multiple reasons actually for this. But if the dad goes to work and the mother goes to work, the kids are at school about 8 hours a day. Depending on what school they're in, you don't know what they're being taught. You don't know who the teachers are. And you come home, you're tired from work. You haven't had time to see your spouse at all. And then the kids come home and you're barely spending time with the kids because you're exhausted and you can't even be fully in tune. So then the kids end up practically being raised by the school system, and you have no idea what the school system is teaching them. You got to think about it. Church once a week, school 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. And then, because you got to count sleep in there too, you get a few hours with your parents. Definitely something to think about. There's a reason that homeschool numbers are at a all-time high right now in America. It's still not crazy high, but it's definitely getting higher as things go on. But yeah, you gotta be careful. So being a man that could provide financially and in other ways too, physically, spiritually, all of it is very, very important. Remember, looks fade, vibes change constantly, but work ethic and emotional maturity last. People are going to remember how you made them feel at the end of the day. Despite the accomplishments you have, people will definitely remember your accomplishments. But when it comes to the people around you, they're going to remember how you made them feel and what you stand for. Being a man who can stand for his beliefs. Being a man who doesn't get scared when persecution comes his way. being a man who actually expects persecution to come his way because he knows he's standing for the truth. This is all parts of being a man and preparing for your future spouse. And if you feel like you have a lack of direction, if you feel like there's nobody that can relate to you, if you feel like you can benefit from somebody being with you, having 24/7 access to a mentor who wants to see you succeed, who wants to see you get your life on track, comment the word build down below and I will be in touch with you shortly. Also read the description. I will have other contact info there. But if you are interested in that, please reach out to me or I'll be reaching out to you shortly if you comment build down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy Valentine's Day. Love y'all.